Hi guys, hello, how are you? Today we'll be discussing about installing virtual environment in VS Code and installing Snowflake and DBT packages and create a DBT project which is connecting to Snowflake, and we will create a sample Airbnb project, and we will create tables in Snowflake and we will run a sample test in that project. Okay, so these are all the today agenda. We will go one by one. Okay, let's get started. First, create virtual environment and install DBT and Snowflake packages. Okay, I'm going to VS Code. I'm in my terminal. I'm in my documents directory. So now, before we want to start a fresh project, we will be creating a separate a directory. Okay, so I'm creating a directory. Okay, so my directory is created. I'm able to see my directory here. I'm moving to my directory. Okay, here any separate project, if you want to run, and it should not be have any conflicts with other projects which you already created in the same environment, in the same Python environment. The best way is like you can create a virtual environment. Okay, so I'm going to my project, my folder. Sorry, I'm already in my folder, right? So I will create a virtual environment here. Okay, so it will take some 2 to 3 minutes to create a virtual environment. See, it was created .vnb. It's a virtual environment. So now I'm going to .vnb, and I want to activate .vnb. So .vnb. You can see here virtual environment is activated. Okay, now I will be installing DBT. Okay, so now the DBT is installed, and we will install Snowflake adapter also. DBT Snowflake. We'll see. Actually, we have to mention the latest version. We can either we can check that in the latest version in the DBT Snowflake website, or like we can simply write a Snowflake DBT and Snowflake. We'll see. We'll take the latest version. Yeah, it is taking the latest version, then no problem. Perfect. So we have installed. The first step was completed. We created a virtual environment and installed DBT and Snowflake packages. So first step was completed. Now coming to the second step, create and install DBT project and connecting to Snowflake. Okay, so I already created a Snowflake account and I was able to log into Snowflake account. If you are new to the Snowflake and you are not if you want to create a new account, you can go to a Snowflake trial version in the website, sign up, and it will ask only for your username, password and your details. It's a simple 3-step process. It will create you a Snowflake account, okay, and it will send a mail to you to activate your account. You can activate that account. You can click on this, it will be activated, and you will come into this page. Okay, I'm going to create some tables which are useful for this project. Okay, before that I just want to explain the project which we are going to run. Okay, so this is the high level data flow overview of this project. It's a Airbnb project. Here our source is majorly three raw tables. One is raw listing, raw host, and raw reviews. Okay, and from there we will be creating staging layer and core layer and presentation layer. Okay, so these 3 layers we are creating using DBT. Okay, so this project is like Airbnb. As you know, in India we call it as a OYO rooms or like some other hotels. Okay, this is a majorly a hotel related company, Airbnb. It is famous across the world. So they have their listings and they have their host information, and they have also their reviews, like how the users are giving their reviews. Okay, so this information we are taking and we are playing around it. So now I'm going to Snowflake and I'll create these 3 raw tables. Okay, I have hand with statements. I'll go there. So before that we have to create few important roles in Snowflake. So that is like, one is we have to create a role account admin, and we have to create role transform, and we have to create a role, and we have to create a user which can connect to this database. Okay, all these steps we will go one by one. Okay, so first use as a admin role. We are creating an admin role. So the statement executed, and create a role. If not this transform role, we want to create a transform role. Since this is a fresh copy, it will be definitely the transform role will not be there, and grant role transform to role account admin. So we are creating first a role account admin, and we are giving grants to account admin transform roles. Okay, so we can execute these 2 statements. Once this is completed, transform role and admin role completed, create a default warehouse. We need to create default warehouse. Okay, compute warehouse is already there. If not, then we can create it, and we can give some operations, some role to operate role on this compute warehouse to the transform role. After that, once we created a warehouse and we created a account admin role and we create transform role, now we are going to create a user, and the user is will be using a DBT user, and password is this one, and some common password we are using, and this is the database, and this is the default namespace we are using. And also if you see here, we are giving the grant role transform to DBT user also. Why we are giving transform role separate role? Because in Snowflake we will be loading data, or like when we are writing data and we are deleting data, we will go through roles. Okay, not the users. Create database again. So once that we created, now we created user and we created roles and we get database. Now we are going to create a database, that is Airbnb database. As we said, our project is Airbnb, right? So we are creating Airbnb database. After that we are creating schema, raw schema in the Airbnb database. After that, so we are providing all the roles, transform roles to all this database and schemas. If we see here tables, okay, and schemas, in future schemas, future tables. That means in future, if the transform role is trying to create a new feature schema on the run, it should allow to create that. That is why we are giving all the necessary grants here. done. So now we are set up with the account admin role, and the database is compute warehouse database, and we have Airbnb database. The warehouse is compute warehouse, and we have a schema created, raw schema, and we have user created, DBT user. Okay, everything was set up in the snowflake. Now we are going back to the database, and now we want to create two tables, right? So one is raw listing table, as we said, and one is raw reviews, and one more is raw host. Okay, we are creating this data table, and I am going to open a new sheet. So let's have a look into this table. Raw listing. What does this information is having? ID, and listing URL. What is the listing, and name, and room type, and minimum night stay, and host ID, and the price, and created and updated. Okay, this is the basic fields. So what it is saying, use database here, right? Why? Because here, if you see, we did not select any database. If you want to create a table, you need to first select the database. Our database is Airbnb, and the schema is raw schema, right? Okay, now we can run the same statement. So now it is created successfully. Similarly, we will create next two tables also. Raw reviews and raw hosts. Okay. We can run all the statements at one go also, but simpler purpose I am showing you one by one. Okay, three tables are created. Now we will query these tables. Select star from. Okay, what is our database? Airbnb, right? Airbnb dot raw dot. First, what is the table? Raw listings. Same, I am copying. And raw reviews. Okay, there is no data, only empty table is present in three tables, right? Now we are going to insert data in these tables one by one. First, I am going to insert data into raw listing, copy using the copy command. So what is this doing here? I am connecting to S3 database where I could see a sample data listing.csv. Okay, so I am using this data from S3 buckets. Okay, you can connect to, you can use the sample database from Snowflake sample data also. You don't need to create a separate listing and insert data from the S3 bucket. You can directly use the sample tables from all these different schemas. Okay, you see your customers and part, all this information, but since I have this information, I already created this listing file, so I am using this file, and I am telling this copy command that what is the file format, that for type is CSV file, and you need to first record is a skip header. So because the first record is a header, and file is enclosed with quotes. Okay, so this information is sufficient to load the raw listing table. Okay, so this many rows are loaded, 17,499, and next. Similarly for reviews also. Yeah, there are some like 4 lakhs reviews are given for this, and posts also. Some 14,000 posts are there. I'll see the data one more time. Listing. Okay, data is loaded. On post. Okay, data is loaded. On reviews, data is loaded. Okay, perfect. So my database is having data with some 3 tables and some records. Okay, I'm good now. Now I'll go back to my virtual environment. I will now create my DBT project here. Okay, so how to create a DBT project here? So directory, only V environment here is there is no other directories. Either I can create a new directory in my virtual environment, or I can directly create a DBT project here. So init dbt, the command is dbt init and the project name which you are going to create. So my project name is DBT snowflake. Okay, so it is asking for enter a number, because it is, you have to see here which database would you like to use. Here it is showing only one Snowflake database, because we install only Snowflake adapter, right? That is why it is by default it is showing the Snowflake. If we install other adapters also, like for example Databricks or like some BigQuery, right, it will show all those list here, but we install only Snowflake, it is showing only one. So enter number means we'll give 1 here. And the account information is, when we create a Snowflake account, we will get some value here, .snowflakecomputing.com, right? So I get that value, that is this one. Okay, I need to paste this. Okay, and user is, we already created user for the Snowflake database, that is DBT. Okay, and desired authentication type, enter a number, like how you are authorizing this. This is using the password method, right? So that is 1. So what is the password we created? We created the password. Here we created a password. This is the password, DBT password 123. Okay, role. So what is the role? The role is we given transform, right? What is the warehouse? Compute underscore warehouse. Okay, database. Database, what is the database we given here? Airbnb. And the schema is raw. Okay, threads, by default, like we can give 4 threads, and DBT also will create 4 threads. You can give more than 1 thread also, but I'm giving some 4. You can give 1 also, no problem. So what happened? It is created a profile, Pratap DBT profile.amplify using target profile templating. Okay, and separate values. Now we will it was created, the profile was created. Now what we need to do, we have to test this DBT. Okay, how we will test it? DBT debug, using DBT debug command. So you see here in profiles.yml file it was invalid and dbt product is not found. Okay, now what we will do, we will go back there and we will see what is the issue. So here the project was created and everything is created, and now we will try to run here dbt debug. You see here the git is connected automatically, profiles is found and dbt project.yml is found. Where is that profile? Profile is taken from .dbt profiles.yml file, and this is the Python it is taking. Okay, and this is the dbt project it is taking. Yeah, you see all checks are passed and we are able to connect to the database. Now, so what is the error previously we got? We ran the job from parent directory, so we have to run from the actual dbt project directory. Now we are in dbt project directory. You can see here all this. Okay, now I will open this in my code. I am opening a separate VS Code here. By default it should open. If not, then we will go to that particular folder. users.dbt. Yeah, this is the folder, right? Yeah, so this is the project we created right now. We'll go to this dbt underscore project.yml file. You see by default it was dbt snowflake project name, and profile name is the same, and models path, analysis path, test path, switch path, and macros path, natural, all these are created by default, and targets created, and by default all models will be view. That is why it is created a view. Okay, so this is sample project. I'll just go through these folders. Initially every folder will be having nothing, just to git version only it will be there, other than that nothing is there. dbt internal packages, this is a separate folder, now it was created, and dbt adapters and dbt snowflake, this is for the packages folder, and logs and macros and models, these are all sample models, and seeds and snapshots and targets and tests. Okay, and dbt project.yml file. We will go to dbt profile.yml file also. We will open that file. .dbt, right? So here, so this one, you see here snowflake, dbt snowflake, this is the profile which is created. This is for another project, this is for BigQuery, this is another profile, this is a new profile we created. So the job is connecting to this new profile here. Okay, so I'll open a new terminal one more time, and yeah, we are in the right path. I am going back to this folder. I see. Okay, we have virtual environment, we have dbt project, and we have logs directory as well, and I am activating my virtual environment from here also. Okay, and I am going to, once you activate the virtual environment, you need to go to the dbt project folder. Okay, and now you are in dbt project folder. Okay, now you just run the job dbt run. Since you have not created any models here in the models directory, there is nothing to create here. So what is the error? Snowflake encountered error. DBT found more than one package with the DBT profile, including this project. These package must be unique in the project. So okay, we'll see that. Okay, we will create this. We will close this one, or we will open this. Okay, what it is telling, DBT underscore snowflake, there are multiple profiles found. There is only one profile, DBT underscore snowflake. DBT underscore snowflake, right? Yeah. So debug connection, that means it is able to figure out the profile, it is able to connect to that profile, okay, using the credential which we have provided. But when we run the job, DBT run, it is not able to figure out DBT snowflake in this project, because that is having the name must be unique in the project. Please rename it. So yeah, okay, so let's run the job. DBT run. Okay, so we got the error. So what is saying, package name must be unique in the project, and please rename one of the packages. So it is expecting this as a this name and this profile name both are same, so that is why it is throwing this error. And also if you see here, the DBT package name, this is fine, but here this profile name and this name both are same, so we will change it to some other name like my DBT project, or like, okay, my DBT project, and we'll save it, and then the DBT run again. Yeah, I think it's working now. The target is dev. Yeah, so it created one model. You see here, start table, and next one is view model. Okay, so this is a sample. These two, it was created when we initialized the project. We did not created these two models. It's created by here. The config is materialized equal table that, and it's a simple select null. Okay, there is nothing, no fancy logic here. And also the second one is select start from this first model. Okay, and there is no configuration here. If there is no configuration means, then what that does means it is a view. If it is a configuration as table, materialized as table, then it is a table. So these two are created, right? Let's go ahead and check in the snowflake. See here, I'll replace. You see here, the table is my table and a second DBT model. These two are created, and if you check the data, I don't think there is data here. Let's query. Select from Airbnb dot my first DBT model. There is nothing, just simply one and null. Only two are right in the subject query. That is why only one and null showing. This is one and this is null. And this two is showing. So this is overall. We create a virtual environment and we install DBT and install Snowflake packages, and we initialize DBT project, and we were able to test. We created a tables in Airbnb project, but we have not used these tables right now. We will use in our next session, and we load the data. This is also we will use in the next session, and we run the test project. So we test the project with the sample data, and it is working fine. First thing is we were able to see that database is connecting to the snowflake, right, and with the configurations, and we were able to run the DBT, right, with the sample models. In our next sessions we will see in each and every topic of DBT, like how the macros are created, how the models are created, how seeds and snapshots and the analysis, everything. Each topic will be one separate session. Okay, thank you, bye guys.